Hi, this is the help video for Excel Chapter 2, Pause and Practice Number 2. I believe we'll be able to get through all of Pause and Practice 2 in this movie. So I have the instructions from the SimNet Sim book on my left, and on the right I have the file as it exists at the end of Pause and Practice 2.1. So this pause and practice is all about some statistical functions. And we're going to look at, if we look back here, we're going to look at the sum function, the count function, and average. One of the things that I want you to make note of is this table 2.6. Count, the function count will only count if the contents of the cell contains a value, a number. Count A will count all. So think of A as all. It just has to have something in it, a letter, a number, a special character. It doesn't matter. It's going to count it. Count blank will count any cell that's empty, that's null, that has nothing in it. So those are the counts. You want to pay attention to those. We're going to do max and min, which returns the highest number in a series, which would be max, or the lowest in a series, which would be min. And then we'll work with that. So let's go ahead. We're on Cass Lake still, and I'm going to shrink this up a little bit so you can see my column K here. We want to be in K15. So if, oh, nope, K14. So right here, we're trying to find the total revenue. So if I click this sigma, which is the thing that calculates the summation or the addition of a series of cells, of numbers, look, Excel doesn't know where it wants me to add, right? So I have to define that. And I'm going to come over here because this is total revenue. So B11 through G11. Make sure you don't select the total there. Check mark it. I'm going to make that bigger so we can see it. This number should match this number, and it does. Sweet. So all we did there, we did the sum. It just is, you had to define it because it couldn't find it next to you. Okay, so the next one is average monthly revenue. So we're going to use the same set of numbers, but, oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back up here. Look at the formula, monthly rev, instead of the cell address, because remember, we named that range. So it uses it, which is much more friendly, I guess, looking at formulas. Hey, a sum of monthly revenue. Okay, where if you're looking at the sum of B11 through G11, you have to go look what that is. So we're going to do the same thing here, but instead of a sum, we're going to do an average. An average is a pretty frequently used function, but not quite as much as sum. So I'm going to sit where my answer is. I'm going to come up to the sigma, but instead of doing the sigma, I'm going to go to the down arrow key and look, average, count numbers, which we know is just count, max, min. So these functions are used a lot. That's why they're on this little drop down. We can always get to the rest of the functions here. We want average though. So we're going to click on average, and Excel says, hey, here's a number. Do you want to average this number? No. I want to come over here and click and drag. And look, it changes to monthly rev in my formula. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. So 8591, perfect. The next one is max. Well, I saw that up here, but what do we max? We're doing cabin rental. So before we start our formula, we would just want to go see where we're at. Okay, so cabin rental is here. So we want to look at what was the highest revenue for cabin rentals. So sitting where the answer is, drop down max, which returns the highest in a range, and then once again, Excel's trying, but it's missing the mark here. This is not what we want to get a max of. We want to get a max of room and cabin rentals. So I'm going to B5 through G5, check mark. Now that one doesn't have a name, so it shows me the actual cells. So now we want to look at the minimum value of all of the tour revenues. So that is row 6 here. So B6 through G6. We're going to come up here. We're going to do a down arrow. We're going to do min. And once again, it's not right, but we know we want tour revenue. So we're going to start here and go across, check mark. So I'm pretty sure 8591, 87750. Sweet. All right, so we have one more to do, and that is the count. But we want a count of months. So April, May, June. Those are not numbers. So we can't do the count function, which is right here, count of numbers. We have to do the count A. So here's the easy way to do this. You know it's count A. So I'm going to do equal and start typing my function name. Count, and look, the IntelliSense brings up all the things that begin with the letters that you've typed, and there it is. So I'm going to click on count A and hit tab, and it fills it in, and all I need to do is come up here and select April through September and end my parentheses. 6 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is correct. We want this to be let's see, so we did the count. So now we want this to be general format. So right here where it says number, I'm going to do general. It's going to change it back to 6. And then K14 through K17, because they're all 0 zeros on the end there. We don't want those. We want to get rid of them. So decrease decimal 2 times. So we're good. It looks good. These are all currencies, so that's good. This is not a currency, so it shouldn't have a $sign. That's why we made it general. And so then this auto calculate, guys, is really just, let's select B11 through G11 and look down here in the status bar down at the bottom. This is some auto calculates. So if you had someone walk up to your desk and say, hey, what's the total for these sets? All you have to do is drag it. You don't have to put a formula, and then look down here. It's going to tell you. And you can modify what functions appear down here. But so this is telling me there's 6 for an average of 8591, yeah, for a total of 51. So it works. So we're good. But that's a very nice little feature. All right, so we have one more thing we're going to do, and that is the today function. So that's here in A25. They have you doing this date and time. Here's my to equal, and there's today. I did TO, I hit my tab key, and I close my parentheses because today is a function that doesn't have any arguments. So you just have a open and close parentheses because all functions have to have an equal, a function name, and the open close parentheses. I'm going to hit enter. It puts in here the current date. This is the date I'm working on this movie. When you work on this, it'll be a different date. When your instructor grades it, it'll be a different date. This date always reflects the current system date. So if you just wanted if you wanted it to stay July 26th forever, you would just type that in. Using the today function allows it to update. Today returns the date. Now equal now returns the date and time. That's the difference between them. Today is just the date. Now is the date and time. All right, we're done with this. Go ahead and save. And we have one more, but it's a doozy. Pause and practice 2, 3. All right, thank you.